placed the needle over a spinning record. After an initial hiss, the needle found its groove and "Pick Yourself Up" from Swing Time played, piped through the wall speakers otherwise reserved for a PA system. As Dana scooped up her recorder, she focused her attention on the common room's 3 occupants. A lab-coated doctor whose wavy gray hair and full mustache had almost made the complete transition to gray spoke to a slump-shouldered patient flanked by a grizzled security guard while trying to write on a prescription pad. Frustrated, he shook the ballpoint pen, tried again, and tossed it in a nearby trash can before removing a more elegant pen from his lab coat. Beside Dana, Aaron whispered, "That's him." The doctor completed the prescription, signed his name, tore off the sheet of paper, and passed it to the guard. As the guard turned to escort his charge back to his room or the hospital pharmacy, Dana glimpsed the name stitched on the breast pocket of his uniform. Koonman. Though she had instinctively raised the mic toward the security door during the exchange, she doubted it was sensitive enough to pick up details of the brief conversation, especially over the peppy music that had, thankfully, drowned out the incessant buzzing of fluorescent lights. The doctor glanced up at his visitors and nodded. Aaron sported khaki trousers and trainers with his gray wool overcoat and a long blue-gray checked scarf. With her long maroon coat, Dana wore a knee-length brown and tan patterned dress, brown hose, and suede ankle boots. Not her idea of casual, but too late now to wonder if they should have dressed more professionally for the meeting. Besides, they'd presented themselves as journalists. Might as well look the part. The security guard closest to the window pressed a button beneath the desk, triggering the loud buzz of the door lock mechanism disengaging and the metallic squeal of security bars retracting. A green light flashed on as the doctor pushed open the door to greet them. "Good afternoon," he said with a thick accent. "I'm Dr. Ranbir Sartain." "Thank you for taking the time to meet with us," Dana said, wondering if he'd view their British accents as similarly thick. "We were hoping to have this opportunity before he's transferred to the new facility. Glass Hill is far less accommodating." His disdain evident, Ranbir said. "Glass Hill is the pit of hell. Underfunded and short-staffed. For years he has been kept here to be studied. I suppose the state has lost interest in discovering anything further." Considering their present surroundings, Dana imagined Glass Hill must be spectacularly awful. Perhaps they employed medieval torture devices to keep their patients in line. "Well," Aaron said, "that's why we're here." Best to assure Ranbir up front they were on his side. Dana glanced down at her recorder. "Do you mind if I record this?" Sartain smiled agreeably. "Why not?" Once they were inside, the door lock buzzed again, this time with the unnerving finality of a sprung trap. Ranbir escorted them down a dim hallway, past one shuffling patient who avoided their gaze, mumbling to himself as if completely unaware of them. The disturbed faces of other patients, some with clinical escorts, many behind barred doors, flashed by them, frozen moments of fear and confusion, hope and resignation, agitation and resentment. Dana paused briefly, caught by the sight of a patient with unkempt hair, his lips pulled back from yellowed, uneven teeth. He grimaced and squirmed, plucking imaginary insects from his body and crushing them between his fingers before hurling them aside. In an endless loop, he muttered, "Too many, too many, too many." In a nearby room, a wizened old man sat in the corner, arms wrapped around folded legs, staring into the distance as he rocked back and forth with metronomic regularity. Too many seemed lost in their own minds or trapped in an unwelcome reality. Unlike the needle of the nurse's turntable, they hadn't found the groove to move forward, and knew only the hiss and crackle of not fitting in, of unfulfilled potential. Dana pulled her attention back to Sartain's voice, grateful she'd been recording him so she could go back and listen to anything she might have missed. His accent, at least, helped her focus on his words. Raising the mic, she asked, "How long have you been working with him?" "I've examined..."